To obtain a capital gain, we will be well endowed in order to know what is needed for having a final ratio between spending and revenue that ultimately becomes positive. So how is it? It seems it is something good. I mean, it looks good. Apparently, this path, in the contrary, it seems pretty scary or dangerous. But it's not. Why? Because I learned something studying is called CMMI, that stands in for capability, maturity, models, integration. This is a complex study of any industry's management from development project and production. It evaluates the level of maturity of an entity from an entire company to just a department of the same company. Maturity means the level of capability to obtain the result as expected. Let's say, I invented called CC, that basically is inspired by CMMI. CC stands for Sales Efficiency Attainability System Integrated. That there is a cluster of subjects in the administration of mechanisms that must comply with certain levels of positive outcomes. Well, I'm not here to talk about this, but just to let you understand briefly that many corporations were adopting this CMMI, important company like Lockheed Martin, IBM, for instance. Thus, the maturity level of the corporation is by measuring the quality of its capability of obtaining results in terms of production and business complying with a cluster of CMMI processes by measuring the one under analysis through methodical appraisals. So I was impressed by these studies, and I brought in my business. I learned that organizational focus is the key. I didn't invent anything, but the organization measurement from requirements to mechanism structure and its component are the fundamental factor to elaborate during the process of filmmaking, marketing, and distribution. Do we want to achieve a result? What do we need to do? That's it. That's the story. We must properly elaborate on requirements, mechanisms with their components, and implement them adequately. So, like, for example, I just say Ferrari. Ferrari. How is it a Ferrari? Of course, there are engineered mechanisms that are not known clearly very well to others because that makes Ferrari unique. Our industry is more based on feelings than mechanism engineered. But in films, we need organizational focus as well. Quality and mechanism properly functioning. Besides the beauty. So, you know what I mean? We don't want to win competition to achieve first place, but we want a kind of Ferrari good enough to achieve a result in our niche. Our niche is to arrive at the finish line safe and get a good position in your race. So to do so, we need to build such an, let's call, medium Ferrari, I would say. So that's the key. That's what we must implement. So back in our field, we need, just briefly, script. We need something that reasonably meets our needs. Later in this webinar, we will evaluate that. Second, we need a reliable producer who can properly manage the production teams following an approved production plan. Then number three, artistically. So it must be reasonably good to obtain an artistic product that can fit the market that we are planning to cover. Then we will see later this fact, how something, supposed to be to ensure interest averagely. And then again, we are not going to win the race. We want to arrive at the finish in a reasonable manner. We want something average. That's part of our success. We do not have to compete, but we will get a small slice needed for our scope. Then it might win. We never know, but that's not the scope. Try to follow what I meant. 4. We have post-production, which is made by selected technical team, but then we need the so-called PEA, which means print and advertising, promotion. So, the print includes copies from the master of the film to obtain other tapes that must be sent to the theaters simultaneously. We call DCP, which stands for Digital Cinema Package. There are specific labs to do that, and there's something needed for distribution. And even this one, the PEA, the prints, we have a system because they cost money. So another number 5 is a financial mechanism to be elaborated on, is a promo marketing campaign for the film. That's one of the key factors as a mechanism that is able to generate buyers. In this case, people who buy the ticket to watch the film. This is important for our side, but at the same time, it's for the cinema. So that's important. Later we'll see why.